Shalom, family. Good to see you. We're going to talk about people leaving the US. So, people are leaving for a variety of different reasons. A lot of people are leaving because they're saying they just can't afford to live in America anymore. Everything is so high and they're unable to make it. And some people are leaving because they hate the political climate of America now. So, look, I guess you do whatever you have to do to survive. A lot of people are moving to Mexico, Costa Rica, New Zealand is another hotspot that people are going to. So I even got one couple on here that went to Panama. So I guess whatever you need to do, I don't feel the need to get up and go. Do I hate the way things are in this country? Yeah. As long as our people are forced on the bottom, yes, I will never like it. But for me, the alternative is not to go elsewhere. It's just not. But for some people, I guess they just need to get out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. You know, now they're saying that 9,000, I'm not 9,000, I'm sorry, 9 million people have already left. Now, I could not confirm that number, but there are quite a few people saying that online that 9 million have left the US. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, let's get started.
So Americans don't want to live in America anymore. Let's talk about it. I think it's a very normal feeling right now that people don't want to live here. I mean, the idea that American dream is just gone, and everyone in my comment section says the American dream now is to leave America. And that seems to be a resounding sentiment all throughout the internet right now. People want to go. People want to go somewhere else. This doesn't feel like it's it for us. This doesn't feel like it's good for us. And by us, I mean anybody. If you're not in the top 10, the top 5% of this country feels like it's not a place where you can make it, because for the most part, it isn't a place that you can make it. The working poor and the working class are struggling just to stay off the streets, and there's no respite to come. There's no support from the government. There's no support from our neighbors because we don't know them. Our families are broken, so we have no one to fall back to. It just feels hopeless for a lot of people. So of course, there's a natural feeling that I want to go find my peace, my happy life, wherever I can. And it doesn't feel like we can have that in America for a lot of us. And that's why you're seeing people all over TikTok, all over YouTube say that they're leaving the country. They want to leave the country and just go. They don't care what the destination is. They just want to go. I think that this is actually something that really hits to the core of our American past, to actually, go forth and find your place in the world. And I don't begrudge anybody, nor should you, who is pursuing that kind of peace in their life.
You may have heard Jay-Z and Beyonce are moving to the UK, but I want to know, what are the top 3 destinations all Americans are moving to this year? I have that list. Let's talk about it. In order, number 3 is the UK, especially for Americans 18 to 34. I imagine that's partially due to a student visa being an easier path. I think it also reflects a cultural and lifestyle allure, similar to the reason Jay-Z and Beyonce would choose the UK, in that it's a country that's most similar to the US. There's not as large of a learning curve or a feeling of isolation, not understanding the language or culture. So specifically, political discontent or safety concerns for some of your biggest issues, then the UK makes a lot of sense. Number 2 is Spain. Spain's drawing a record number of American buyers. Q1 of 2025 saw a 57% increase in American property purchases. It's also one of the top locations for American retirees, more affordable living compared to the US, good healthcare, more mild climate, and vibrant culture. Then number one's Portugal, driven by a lower cost of living in comparison to the previous two. Friendly social atmosphere, low crime. Anyone I've talked to on a personal level who's relocated there stated a huge quality of life benefit. I do think fear plays a big part in this list. Americans know much more about Europe than Africa, Asia, South America. They fear culture shock or isolation. So while I don't think the top three lists are bad countries to go to, I'd encourage you, if you're looking to move abroad, expand your mind to explore places outside of Europe. I hope it helps.
Hi, my name's Charlotte, and I'm building a platform that will help vulnerable Americans leave the USA. I'm working with an amazing group of volunteers to help build Help Me Leave, and we're working really hard right now on researching exit pathways and building the website. Being an immigrant is not an easy option, and we know that many of the people who are most at risk have a lot of things to think about, right? Disability, gender, sexuality, race. So we want to make it really easy for you to understand your options and your choices and some of the compromises that you might have to make. If you want to stay up to date on the development, then follow me. And if you want to help, we still need quite a lot of things. We need researchers and there's some other skills that we need. So I'll pop them up on the screen here. And if that speaks to you, give me a DM as well. This is about the USA right now, but my big vision is a platform that helps anybody who is at risk move to safety. I know that being anti-immigrant is very popular, very in fashion right now, but every single human being alive today is alive because an ancestor of theirs moved. They moved for safety, they moved for opportunity, sometimes they were moved against their will. Whatever the billionaires want us to think, moving to new places is a fundamental part of being human, and I want to help people build lives that are safe and fulfilling. Wish me luck.
I'll be moving to Colombia once the Insurrection Act is invoked. I fear the future of the US and being trapped here isn't an option. We're in the beginning stages of the administration and I'd rather escape while I can than be too late. Once insurrection is declared, me and my girlfriend will fly to Bogota, Colombia, where we'll stay with some of my stepmom's cousins temporarily. They'll show us around Colombia and what life is like. Eventually, we'll find our own place to stay. We'll be there up to 180 days as US citizen visitors while we evaluate the state of the US and decide where we'll travel to next. We have thousands say they're in the process of getting remote jobs so we can support ourselves through the future. Our current plan is to travel around the world as US citizen visitors and live in many different cultures. We wanted to spend more time here planning our adventures, but the state of the administration has expedited our plans. Regardless, we're excited to experience the culture of Colombia and live as an expat around the globe.
I'm officially leaving the US to permanently live abroad, and I feel the same jitters that I felt this time last year when this whole journey even started. If you're new here or maybe you haven't been here in a while, let me catch you up to speed. Literally this time last year, y'all had your girl crying on live television as I was packing and preparing to go explore the world, live, travel, all that good stuff. Let me just tell you, I had no idea where I was going, how long I was going to be there, and what that whole process was even going to look like. And here we are a year later after living in 3 different countries, and I finally know where I want to call home for a little while. And let me tell y'all, this past year has been extremely life-changing, but your girl is ready to have a home base, okay? I have apartment tours set up in the country that I'm going to be in, and I want to bring y'all along the process with me this time because last time I think I got caught up in this, like, what's going to happen, and I don't have anything set in stone, so I don't really know what to share with y'all, and what if something goes wrong, and then I renege on the... I was going through all the mental gymnastics, right? And if you go back and watch that video where I was crying, the link is in my bio, by the way. I called that liberation season. It was this kickoff to this like newfound freedom, right? We've gone from liberation to preparation. This is preparation season. A lot of you have asked me about preparation, how much to save, what you need before you go. And I think while I'm in this, last countdown of getting ready to go, this will be a good time to answer those questions for you. So if you've been thinking about traveling abroad long term or possibly living abroad, definitely hit that follow button to follow along because there's definitely some things that I know now that I didn't know before. Things that you would probably think you would know before you go, but as your type B bestie, yeah, I didn't do a lot of research when I first left. So now that I'm on the other side, there's definitely things that I'm going to be sharing with you. The first thing is this: sometimes the life you desire and the version of you that you feel detached from is on the other side of you doing it with faith, doing it anyway, doing it scared, not caring what anybody thinks, letting go, surrendering all your fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, and procrastination to God, and just doing it. You might not be moving abroad, but you might be sitting on a genius idea that you will not act on. You might be trying to start a new business. You might be entering a new relationship. That relationship might even be a relationship with the Lord. Like whatever it is that you feel worried or anxious about, the thing that you want to act on, and you're just like, oh, you're trying to logically put all the things together. Sometimes you just need to take an action, even if it's one action. That's going to get you closer to your answers. Whatever that is. I'm not telling you to go do nothing crazy. Or maybe. But what's crazy to you in this season could be ordinary for you in another. And it just takes you creating a new version of you, creating a new timeline, and really just believing that it's all going to work out for your good. So join me on this countdown, and I'm going to challenge you to take one action towards that thing that you think is crazy, that thing you've been sitting on. Yeah, let's get to it. All right.
Americans have started to leave the US because of the rise of authoritarianism. And this is something that should absolutely not be taken lightly. I literally saw a report this morning from Australia talking about how they have some applications from this year of people seeking human rights shelter because they are scared of what's going to happen to them. They want to have a backup plan if things go to shit so they can go to Australia and get a visa. And that's absolutely nothing new. Canada has also opened up a program to Americans that may potentially want to leave the country as a sort of political refugee. While that might sound crazy, we are absolutely entering into an era where this is something that people are starting to consider. Even some professors at Yale and other colleges in the US who teach about the rise of authoritarianism and fascism have left the US or have at least started to make plans to leave. And if that's not a wake-up call to other Americans to rally together to join the fight, I don't know what is. The president should not be able to send armed troops to terrorize American citizens. People should not be able to be kidnapped regardless of whether they're foreign-born or American-born, nor should they disappear. So I would really look long and hard into your decision to be apolitical right now because things are changing rapidly in a very bad direction.
So I'm an American who moved to New Zealand over a decade ago with my American husband. Now that things are getting seriously unhinged in the States, I'm seeing more and more people from all walks of life talking about leaving or actively leaving. And I guess I just wanted to share some advice. If you're leaving, you might go through something similar to the 5 stages of grief. And so if you find yourself really moody and swinging between emotions and you're okay one minute and not okay the next, that's completely normal. Give yourself space to work yourself, through those feelings. When you move abroad, you have so many different logistics to worry about that you often don't have time to process the grief. And so that manifested for me as I was so busy doing all the things you need to do to emigrate out of the United States. The visas, the payments, the deadlines, the health check, the background check from FBI, the booking the flights, the figuring out where you're going to live, how much baggage are we going to take, like all those things. And I was running on adrenaline. And then when I got on the plane at 11 o'clock at night, about 1 hour into the flight, I started bawling my eyes out and asking, what am I doing? This is crazy. This is insane. And my husband had to calm me down. I mean, I was like having a mental breakdown. It took me a full year to feel okay in New Zealand. The next piece of advice I would give is when you get to your new country, seek out Americans as early as you can. And I say this because we tried to make friends with New Zealanders, but it was hard. They have their lives, they have their families, they have their routines, they have their childhood friends. They've already got their life set. And I'm not saying that all Kiwis are like this, but what we found was that Kiwis were more reserved and we were these loud Americans, right? And they didn't know what to do with us. So try to make friends with Americans either through this app or the Facebookie app on groups, within the country or the city that you are living in. That has been our saving grace here. We have a very tight-knit group of friends who are Americans who have children the same age as our son, and we can babysit for each other. And when the news gets really bad, we can confide in each other. And then the other thing I want to say, and this is probably not talked about a lot, is you're going to get pushback from people everywhere about leaving. People you love, family members, friends, people you don't know saying that you're privileged to leave. We know it's a privilege to leave. We know. But, I had to make a choice for my future child. I did not want to have a baby in America, and I don't regret it at all, leaving so that he could be safe. Everybody has to make their choices. Everybody has to walk their path. It's a really sad time for anyone who makes friends with Americans who have moved abroad and you live in the country that they've moved to. I'm just begging you, please be kind, because we're all collectively traumatized. A lot of us, including myself, were thinking about moving back. And now we can't. And that has caused, at least in me, a resetting of the 5 stages of grief. Because we were going to move back. And now we don't know if we can.
I don't know why no one's talking about this, but there is a mass exodus of U.S. citizens from the United States. Look, I'm a real estate agent in Costa Rica. I help foreigners move abroad, move to Costa Rica, and make a life here. I've been getting a ton of stories from clients who are absolutely spent. I'm working with a psychiatrist who helps teenagers. And when I asked her why she wants to move to Costa Rica, she said, it's because I have lost all hope. My patients have lost hope. And what's worse is I have lost hope too. And how can I possibly be of service to someone else if I don't believe it's not going to get any better? So what she is doing is saving herself, packing up her bags, and moving abroad. This is where we are.
Hey guys,
Happy Tuesday to everyone.
happy Tuesday.
We are all moved in.
We are back, guys. We know we've been MIA. Yeah, we had to take a minute to kind of take a breath.
And get settled, move, get the dog straight. You know, see, there's BB.
Cheers, Dee.
BB settled too. And yeah, we are happy to be back. We miss y'all.
We miss y'all. We miss doing our videos, kind of keeping you guys updated. So it's so much to kind of cover. So we're just gonna just do a little bit each day and catch you up. I'm just gonna tell you guys overall, since we've been in Panama for 30, maybe 34, 35 days now,
Yep.
we have lived in 5 different places.
5 different places.
5 different places. So
In Costco Viejo for a week, and then we were in Panama City for 3 weeks, and then we moved to Panama Pacifico. We had a small Airbnb there since last Monday, and then we moved out of that place on Saturday, and we moved into our permanent forever home, our Panamanian paradise, on Saturday.
we are here, guys. Yes, we are in. This is called Toucan.
Toucan Country Club and Resort.
Yes, in Arion.
Arion,
Ar-
Cocali. It's Cocali, Arion.
Yes, it is. It's near the what base is that, babe?
Howard Air Force Base.
The old Howard Air Force Base.
Well, actually, right behind the Panamanian Naval Station.
Correct. So we finally found our house. We were patient. One of the locations we mentioned, we lived in 2 different residences there. So that's kind of how we ended up with the 5.
Yeah.
We touched on this before, that things move at their own pace here, and you just can't predict things.
Their own pace is really slow. we experienced that today with the cable,
Yeah.
and that problem has not been resolved yet. It's still moving relatively slowly, but it should be rectified tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah. So we do have some things that we want to cover with you guys, but we just kind of wanted to give a big shout out and say hey to you guys. And yes, and thank you for all the love that people have sent trying to check on us and make sure that we're okay.
Yeah, we're okay. We're here.
We're going to continue to share our journey, guys. I promise you guys, we just needed a minute. We just needed a second to breathe and
Reset a little bit.
reset, get comfortable, and start all over. When I tell you from scratch, everything from ketchup to forks to bed linen to sheets to towels to anything, guys.
Anything you can think of, anything you have in your home that you use on a day-to-day basis, we had to repurchase. So we're still in the process of accumulating more junk.
Yes, that part, guys. But that's okay. I need all the junk. I'm sorry. I need the conveniences of back when I was in the United States, but changing my mindset from that, still trying to work on that. And
Yeah, that has been an adjustment for me.
yes, it is, because cable is paramount, guys. So you guys please virtually send out hugs, and hopefully we get this done, because we need to get this cable situated. But in the interim, guys, we love our new home. I'm gonna give you a quick glance of what we're looking at, and then we're gonna dive in our next video and give you guys a tour and all of that. But this is what our home looks.
This is the outdoors. That's the patio area. We don't have any outdoor furniture yet, and that's the entrance to the family room there. And then around here, there's our pool and some of the greenery we have. And like the boss said, we'll be
giving you guys a full tour.
a full tour on our next video.
Y'all have a good day. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Okay, no football today, so thank God that football. We got to get it straight before football comes back on. You guys, okay?
All right, y'all take care.
Peace.
Love you.
So Americans, rich and poor, are packing their bags and leaving the United States of America. From the first 6 months of this year compared to the first 6 months of last year, Americans moving to other countries has increased by 90%. That's right, 90%. And so that's almost double where it was last year. And so, folks, people are seeing the craziness and the chaos and the instability and the violence, and they're just leaving. They're just leaving. Folks, let me know why you think this is happening in the comments, and I love you guys to give me a follow. Thank you.
You know what? The good thing about being out here, we don't hear no gunshots, no helicopters, no police, no crackheads, no chicken heads, no nothing. Yeah, just clean, fresh air. Just smell good, huh? Tastes good. Taste the air.
Americans are leaving. They're leaving this country in record numbers. But the amount of Americans that want to leave, that's got to be a new record in itself. 63% of Gen Z want to leave the United States. Their main reason being there is no economic future here. Okay, 68% of people in this country say that they are surviving rather than living. 52% of millennials also want to leave the United States, while Gen X and boomers want to stay put. Only 25 and 26% of them, respectively, have any interest in leaving the United States. And while, yes, there is a huge gap of people who want to leave and people who can leave and people who end up actually leaving, this is worrying, right? Who's going to be left in the country if all the young people want to go somewhere else? Where do these people want to go, you might ask? Well, the top 5 countries that they want to move to are Canada, the UK, Australia, France, and Italy. There is a tidal wave of people that want to leave this country, and I can't say that I blame them. Life here is hard. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses anywhere else, but here it just feels impossible. We're moving abroad next year, and we can't be more excited. If you're interested in what that looks like, stick around.
Okay, y'all. I see you, Kid Gravity. How you doing? Um, I do believe it is, and this is my opinion. I do believe it is a record number of people leaving. I'm not sure if it's the 9 million they're saying, but I do believe a lot of people are leaving. Um, to be honest with you, I don't think I would go anywhere in Europe. If I had to leave, I would not go anywhere in Europe. I might as well just stay here than go over there. I used to live in Germany, you know, but that doesn't mean that was like back in the 80s and 90s. And look, y'all, I can think of other places, but not Europe. Europe would not be an option for me. But I can tell you this, I can understand, some people getting frustrated and they just don't want to spend any more time here, but it's just not my thing to pack up and run. Uh, been here all this time. I can just tough it out. Mhm. And you gotta really check these places. Every place is not safe. I mean, even some of these places that look like paradise and in the background, they're not as good as you think. So you really have to study a place and learn the climate, learn the demographics, and especially if you have children and they got to go to school, you better check those things out before you just pack up your bags and run. Mhm. So, yeah, I mean, things are changing. They really are very rapidly, especially in this country. And we don't know what kind of bag of tricks Donald Trump is going to have when everything opens back up again. And we get to see the carnage of how bad it is. But I still say this. I had said this when Donald Trump took office. I think he's intentionally trying to destroy this place. He's not trying to make it better. He hasn't done one single thing to make this place better. I think that spirit is on him. He got that spirit of destruction on him. Mhm. Yeah, and there's a lot of countries right now that's not feeling America. And because of the Trump administration, there's a lot of places that are not feeling Americans at all. Mhm. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I'm anticipating them trying to get at everybody's bank accounts. Because I don't think these rich people will stop at nothing. I really don't. They have one of those appetites that can never be satisfied. It's just pure greed. Mhm. Mhm. Now, I know some people are still moving to Africa, but you got to be careful. A lot of those countries, it's a lot of scamming going on over in Africa. So you got to be careful with that. Mhm. And besides, if Africa was such a good place, there wouldn't be so many of them over here in the US. They don't even want to be over there. They're running. So, y'all, this is my last live stream. So, I'm going to be concluding. Um, I have one new product that will be out this week. I should be getting the labels soon. I actually got everything I need. I'm just waiting for the labels. Once that comes, it will be posted. So, this is an edge growth butter. It is to help you if you got thinning edges or you may have spots in your edges that you want filled in. And technically, it can be used all over the head for growth. But, the primary focus is for your edges. And that should be out this week. I'm gonna offer it in 2 sizes, but, initially it's just coming out in 1 size. So it'll be 8 ounces to begin with, and then I will be offering it in a 4 ounce as well, just like the Patana oil. How I got it in a 4 ounce and 8 ounce. This will be the same way. It will be in a 8 ounce and 4 ounce. So I will let you know and keep you well informed. So, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I got one. Hold on. G. Bowman Jr., thank you for your super chat. The creator's telepathy is awesome. Make you do things you can't figure out later. Yeah. Thank you so much for your support for my channel. Shalom, family.